What is up, guys? Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be preparing some delicious bourbon flavored steak with brown mushrooms and some delicious cheese on top. Here you can see we're going to start off with mixing the rub for the steak. It's actually 1 tablespoon of onion flakes, 1 tablespoon of szechuan pepper, and 1 tablespoon of sea salt. We're going to add some smoky barbecue rub seasoning to it just to give it that sweet and smoky taste. And then move along to actually getting them crushed up with the mortar and pestle. Now moving on to the steak, we've got this beautiful 650 gram rump steak. You can see that beautiful fat on the side there. We are going to be rendering it down a little bit, get all that nice flavor into the meat. We're going to start by applying the rub generously to the one side, and then we're going to use our hands to actually press the rub into the meat, flip it over, season the other side, and then also press some into the fat as well. If you want to add some extra ground salt to your fat, that would be amazing. It'll actually help to dry out the fat a little bit, making it a bit more crispy. Okay, now we're just going to put the steak to the side and proceed to preparing the outside of the fat. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually score the fat slightly. The fat is pretty thick on this meat. We could have actually trimmed away some of it, but I like fat in the food, especially quite a bit. So what we're going to do is we're just going to score the meat and just to open up all that fat to allow some of the water to escape from the fat. And now for the preparation of the mushrooms. We've got these beautiful medium-sized brown mushrooms. We're going to add them all to our cast iron pan. It is going to go into the oven, and we can start by applying some generous amounts of garlic into the mushrooms in the center. I like quite a bit of garlic and black pepper, so you can add the garlic to your taste. And then just the leftover sauce that was in the container that I just poured over them as well. You can never have too much garlic. And now for some fresh salted butter. Actually going to break it up into cubes, add two small cubes to each mushroom to prevent it from drying out in the oven and give it that nice buttery flavor mixed with the garlic. Now we're going to end up seasoning it with some freshly ground salt, and then we're going to add some coarse black pepper, and we're going to start with the cheeses. The cheese we're going to be using for the mushrooms is actually Gouda cheese and also some mozzarella, full fat both cheeses. The fat-free cheese doesn't seem to work as well. It tends to dry out quite a bit, and it doesn't have such a good flavor. It tastes kind of like a bit of rubber. Now adding some extra olive oil on top of the cheese, preventing it from burning. It'll give it that nice toasty flavor on top. Adding some more black pepper to top it off, and then this beautiful boys are going into the oven. You can set your oven to about 180-190 degrees C for about 15 minutes would be ideal to cook the mushrooms. Starting off with our pan, we're going to be using a cast iron pan, a griddle pan. Add about 4 tablespoons of olive oil, and we're going to start searing our steak. Must make sure the cast iron is extremely hot. Not too hot to just burn, but to actually get that nice searing sound on between the pan and the steak. We're going to just go ahead and add some butter, and it'll help soften the meat a little bit and also give it some nice creamy flavor. I'm going to flip the steak over. You can see that beautiful Maillard reaction occurring in the fat there, rendering down that fat, just letting the steak cook in its own juices. I did turn down the temperature slightly, just to ensure that the meat does not burn and to keep the consistent heat throughout. We're going to be cooking the steak medium to rare slightly. Alright, right after this, we're actually going to add our delicious sauce. We're going to be using a bourbon barbecue sauce. It's locally produced in South Africa in Cape Town. It has a very nice smoky flavor to it, also very sweet. It'll help, for some reason it accommodates the fat very nicely in the meat. It just simply tastes amazing. It also gives that nice sweet crispy taste on the outside of the meat. Just going to pour the sauce on there, leave it to simmer for a while until we flip it over and just give it one or two more minutes just for the sauce to cook properly. There's our beautiful mushrooms out of the oven after 15 minutes. And now to cut up the steak. You can serve it whichever way you want. I just prefer cutting it in slices. You can see the beautiful caramelized fat, the nice pink, a little bit of blood inside the meat still, and the pink color throughout. It's still soft to the touch and extremely tender. And there we go, the steak is all done, nicely cooked up, the fat's rendered nicely, and now you can just serve it alongside the mushrooms. Happy cooking to all. I hope you guys enjoyed the recipe. If you would like, please drop us a like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks.